really just want to take some time to shine a light on this tragedy that unfolded half a world away. But military families across the U.S. are all asking the same question: how could this happen? Just 24 hours ago, loved ones stood at Dover Air Force Base and watched as 7 caskets cloaked in American flags made their final journeys home. On the day before Father's Day, these 7 Navy sailors were found in the flooded sleeping compartments of their Navy destroyer. All we know is that the USS Fitzgerald collided with a container ship. This was off the coast of Japan, and the damage caused major flooding below deck. And one of those sailors was Personnel Specialist First Class Xavier Martin. He was 24 years old. We're told Xavier joined the Navy to follow in the footsteps of his father. Daryl Martin joins me now from his home in Hillthorpe, Maryland, where Xavier grew up. Mr. Martin, my deepest, most heartfelt condolences to you in this difficult time. Just thank you for your service. I thank your son for his service, and thank you for taking the time with me.
Thank you.
I want to ask you all about your son, but first, can we just begin with, sir, how did you find out about Xavier's passing this day before Father's Day?
Well, I found out that Saturday morning at 2:45 when the Navy came and left a card on my door. After I wasn't aware that I was aware that someone was knocking, but I didn't think it was my home. Then when I opened up the door, no one was there, and the card dropped, and it was pretty much just like in the movie what you see, so I notified the Navy, and they came back and they told me he was one of the 7. And that was 2:45 that Saturday morning, and then just waited all day. And then I guess around 10:30 that Saturday evening, the Navy returned again with the chaplain, and I knew then that he was one of the ones that had perished.
How did they deliver the news?
Pretty much like in the movie. Department of Defense wishes to express our deepest condolences that your son was one of the 7 that drowned in their birthing area.
Were you alone?
Yes.
I understand that, this USS Fitzgerald in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and what hours after this crash, your son tried to contact you. Can you tell me about that?
Well, the way we communicated was with WhatsApp. And last time I'd actually spoke or heard his voice was that Tuesday. And throughout the week, we were texting, but I was texting him, but I didn't hear anything. And what I understood that the crash actually happened at 2:20 a.m. And just I'm looking at my phone, and at the top where it actually said his last time of activity, and that's how we communicated, it actually said 2:56, which was 36 minutes after the fact.
So on WhatsApp, your son, after his ship has been hit and the water is filling in,
yes,
he goes to his phone,
yes,
to reach out to you.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Fortunately, I can't help but thinking, and I would think any parent would never want to hear the last recording of their children or their child perishing. So thank God I wasn't able to hear that, but I try to block out the visualization that my son is perishing, and he's crying and screaming, and I'm, Dad. It's pretty hard to imagine.
It's my understanding he was your only son, and you've been a single dad. You, sir, have raised him since he was, 10 years old?
Yes.
Can you tell me, because you know best, why did he come to you one day and say, Dad, I want to join the Navy?
He was working at well, initially he was enrolled in high school. The National Security Agency invited him to be in an internship. Did his, what was that, in 11th grade, did a year, then they brought him on full time. And I guess around 6 months later, he just came to me and said, Dad, actually he joined the Navy. I didn't even know. He told me he actually joined. And I said, well, Xavier, what's going on? And he said, well, Dad, you always told me you thought that every male should join some branch of the service because it rounds off the rough edges and gets them ready for life. And I couldn't argue with that. I mean, because that is my belief, and I could not argue with that.
How proud of your son are you?
Words can't describe how proud of him. I've kept every text from the time he's joined the Navy, and there's just numerous texts that I've expressed how proud I am. I'm so proud to be his father. I could not ask for a better child. Never.
I understand the two of you have matching tattoos. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. I want to say maybe June, maybe around April. Actually, he had, after, as a matter of fact, it was right after the Fitzgerald had pulled back into port, and he was saying that he was going to get a tattoo. And he actually sent me the fonts, and he was trying to decide which font he was going to use. And he said that, well, I'm going to use the verbiage, we will figure it out. Because as a child, he would always come to me with, whatever, Dad, I need tennis shoes. Dad, I need to go here. I need to, you need to go to PTA. And I'm pretty sure every parent says that. Look, we'll figure it out because they're doing something else. And I didn't realize that until later on when he told me years, after the fact that he said, when you told me that, it just gave me a sense of calmness knowing that my dad had me. So he got the ink put on his left wrist, and I was telling him I was thinking about doing it. He said, really? Because I know how much you hate needles. And I waited until the Saturday after Mother's Day, and I went and had the ink put on my forearm as well, and I sent him a picture of it. And he said, I cannot believe you did that. I am so proud of you. And he was just so ecstatic, and he was showing his fellow shipmates and friends. My dad is 60 years old, and he's got his first tattoo.
So you have matching tattoos. It sounds like you have this incredible bond. You are so proud of him. And then Mr. Martin, I mean, the moment that no parent ever wants to think about is not only, getting that doorstep visit, but then going to Dover and welcoming a son or a daughter home in a casket. Can you just walk me through what that was like yesterday?
Certain times it hit me. I remember when we got out to Dover and they provided us rooms, my parents, just to relax because we had arrived, the plane was delayed like 3 hours. And I just went out back and I was just sitting in a rocking chair, and actually I was contacting one of his friends, and her and I knew of her because there were 4 young ladies that when he was in Guam that actually looked out for him. They just met him and they told me the whole story. He was sitting at a bar and one just walked up and said, "You look like you're in a dark place." And they were talking, and all 4 just became pretty much older sisters to him. And since then, we have communicated because one of his friends came by Sunday and he said, "Mr. Martin, before I leave, remind me to give you this number of a young lady who's in San Diego who Xavier hung out with." And I knew exactly who it was because she had left Guam and came back to San Diego. And I said, "No, you give me the number right now." And I called her, and she explained to me that she said, the guy called to ensure that this was the correct number, and she said, yes, and I need to talk to Xavier's dad. He's the only one who's going to understand. And she was crying, and I was crying, and I think we talked maybe like 2 hours Sunday. And that was the first time I had smiled during all that, because we were exchanging stories,
Sure.
and stories that he expressed to me, and then she knew the other parts of the stories. So fast forward till yesterday when I was out in Dover, I'm just sitting in the rocking chair, and her and I mean, it was just a sense of calmness, and we talked for 2 hours. And during that time frame, it wasn't even like I was there. I was just someplace, I can't even describe where I was. I was just sitting in a rocking chair, just rocking, just,
Did you feel
looking at the
numb?
grass, and we were just reminiscing. I felt at ease just talking to her.
You did.
And
You
then
did.
when the chaplain came and said, okay, this is what we have to do, then it got real right then. And we went through the procedures, what we're going to do, and when the bus showed up to go over to the tarmac, it got really emotional. And then we pulled up to the tarmac, and I saw the plane, and you could see one casket in there, and it was draped with the flag, and I could barely get off the bus. And actually, matter of fact, they gave me an option. I could stay on the bus, and my mom was there, and she said, no, you have to do this for Xavier. And it was, wow, it's phenomenal, just the service that they had presented. And he was the number 2 casket that came out, and all I can say was just crying, just don't do this, don't. And it was very difficult, very difficult. And then I inquired, okay, where are they going? And they were saying where they're going over to get prepped, and no parent should have to bury their child, and it was very emotional, very emotional. I can't. I was telling the pastor there, I'm sorry, the chaplain there, I don't deserve sunlight. I don't deserve anything. He's my son. He's a hero in my eyes. He did all this, and talking to his friends, because he was my best friend, period, but I'm finding out now that every day there was not a day that I wasn't mentioned saying that my dad is my best friend. And so many people I've talked to over there, from different walks of life, and all of them have said the same thing. You were his world. He was so important that all the achievements was because of you. He wanted to make you just proud. That was his ambition. When he became E6, he did it on his first try. He was a supernova. He was a bright, shining star. No one at his age makes E6 the first time go around. And he did that for me. It was just so important that I was proud of him.
Mr. Martin, you're choking me up just talking about him being your best friend. Forgive me.
Well, let me
Forgive me.
explain something. When he was born, I cut the cord. I held him before his mother did. I fell in love with him right then. And I leaned over and I whispered to him. He was 15 minutes old, if that much. And I leaned over and I whispered to him, I would never leave you. And I realized it was just a body response with him. But he grabbed with his right hand, he grabbed the tip of my right pinky. And the bond was there. It was there, period. 2 months later, we're at the mall together, Pampers, strollers. There was no place that he couldn't go, where I couldn't go, that he couldn't go with me, other than, job-wise or what have you, but still. He was my best friend.
Mr. Martin, thank you so much.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just really wanted to spend quite a bit of time with you because I think the nation and the world needs to know about your son. So thank you.
Absolutely. I want the
Thank
nation
you.
to know. Yes.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Thank you.